God was serious about bringing Joshua and the children of Israel into the promised land. He was so serious. All these miracles happened. Joshua 3:15, it says, and the feet of the priests bearing the ark were dipped in the brink of the water. The waters coming down from above stood and rose up in a heap very far away. In other words, the water separated and parted, and the children of Israel went across the Jordan River on dry ground. What power in that? What power and authority that God would care about people enough that he would bring them through a river. And he would bring them through a sea. Actually, he did out of Egypt. He brought them through a sea out of Egypt. But here he was, performed a miracle to bring them into the promised land. This is what God, to bring them into the promised land. Now listen to this. Chapter 6 of Joshua, even in the promised land, they had to fight some battles. And it says, and the people shouted and trumpets were blown. And the people, when they heard the sound of the trumpet, the people shouted a great shout, and the wall fell flat. The walls of Jericho fell flat because they obeyed the voice of the Lord, and they cried out to their God like God told them to, and God gave them great victory. And then we go into the next part here in Joshua chapter 10. He prays that God would deliver them and God would stop the enemy here. And Joshua prays a bold prayer, and the sun and the moon stops in the sky so that God can deliver the children of Israel. And not just that, he goes on even beyond that. And it says that he suspended the natural laws to fulfill his purpose in their life. And he will do the same thing for you. And then he sent hailstones from heaven in Joshua 10 and 11. He threw down large hailstones, killing the enemy, destroying the enemy more than the children of Israel had to. God fought for the children of Israel. And just like you today, God will part the sea. He'll part the Jordan River. He will break down walls that are coming against you. And when the enemy comes against you, he'll break the walls down. He'll even make the sun and the moon to stop. In other words, time to slow down. That God will provide deliverance for you and even pour down hail from heaven, stones from heaven to destroy the enemy. Trust in God today. He is the deliverer.